samosas are so crispy. Welcome back to my channel. Now let's make our sheets. If you are a beginner to making samosas, then this video is for you. I'm going to take you through the step-by-step process of making your samosas, from the wrappers to the filling down to the wrapping and the making. Everything is detailed in this video, so stick around. We are using 500 grams of flour, 3 tablespoons of any vegetable oil of your choice, half teaspoon of salt. Then I'm going to go on now to add 1.5 cup of warm water. Now, I will advise that the amount of water you add should be added in bits until you can get your dough this firm. For me, I used 1.5 cup of water, but for you, you may use less or more. After which, I'm going now to knead my dough and cover and allow it to sit for 5 minutes. Then go on now to cut into various portions. If this is your first time of stopping by my channel, you're so welcome. And if you've been here before, good to have you here once again. And if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing to Debby's Kitchen. Do like and share, thumbs up this video. You will love every bit of this video, I can assure you. I've done my research, I've done my experiment, and this is the best way to make your samosa as a beginner. It won't stress you. After dividing my dough into various portions, I'm going to roll them into mini balls and weigh them to make sure that they are equal. You will find out why I had to do that later on in this video. So when I weighed my dough, I made sure they were minimum of 90 grams each. They can be more, but they shouldn't be less than 80 grams because of how I want my sheets to be. So I'm going to dust my surface with sufficient flour and go on now to roll my dough till thin. Now, dusting your dough with flour makes it or helps it to spread out evenly and easily. If you do not dust with enough flour, when you go on now to roll, it will be getting stuck or it will stick to your rolling pin or even the surface, and it may even wrinkle or squeeze. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. So rolling it and while dusting with flour helps your dough to spread out easily. And mind you, you wouldn't want to dust with too much flour, just sufficient flour to help it spread out easily. If you dust with too much flour, you may end up having a very hard samosa sheet that will be difficult for you to fill in or fold in your filling. Do you get what I'm saying? If you have brought till this point, you thumbs up this video. Come on, do like and share. After rolling my dough till thin, use whatever you have in your kitchen to cut around circles. And this is me. I am placing them on each other after dusting with sufficient flour. We had over 40 pieces of samosas with this, and when I cut my dough into portions, I had 10 portions. So that's for that. So now what you are going to do is that at that stage, you can decide to use your dough like that without heating it. But if you want to store your dough in the fridge for a week or more, or use it for subsequent samosas recipe, I would advise that you heat it in your frying pan on medium heat for 10 seconds on one side, not 10 minutes. 10 seconds on each side. So if you heat it 10 seconds on one side, you flip it to the other side and heat it for another 10 seconds. I've tried making samosas using the various ways I've learned, using the liquid method, using the separating method. For me, I found out that this is the safest and the best, one of the best method. I wouldn't say the best, but one of the best method of making your samosas. So I've done that with all my sheets. So you can see how they are. They are firm, they are malleable, they are thick, and they are just perfect. Not so thick, not so thin. Perfect for your samosas. You can also use this for your spring rolls. So that's for that. So I'm going to divide them to the way I want them to be. Definitely I'm not going to use this big wrap for my samosa. So I'm dividing them to be a quarter of a circle. And I'm supposed to use a ruler here, but guys, I do not have any ruler in the house. You can imagine. But my dear, just use whatever you have in your kitchen and divide. The samosas cut easily. They just separate easily. They are not so thin. I don't know. They just have the perfect texture. That's what you want to have. You don't heat for too long because you don't want your samosas to be hard. You just want the heat to just penetrate a little bit. That's why I said 10 seconds. Even 8 seconds is okay. But don't go beyond 10 seconds on each side. You can use your scissors to trim out any excesses or any excess dough on the sides of the samosa, just to give it a more finished look. And this is what we have. At this stage, you can wrap your samosa in a kitchen film and place it in the fridge till whenever you want to use them. This is to prevent your samosas from absorbing moisture and also from being too dried. If it's too dried, your samosa wraps will become bad. You can't use them to make your samosas because they won't be malleable. If it is too soggy, they can start getting stuck to each other, which won't be nice either. So you seal them in this Ziploc bag and you can keep them in the fridge and use them whenever you want. Now let's make our filling. The filling, I am using 50 ml of vegetable oil. Some persons keep adding vegetable oil. If you know your meat has loads of fats, you don't need to add vegetable oil. But I didn't use more than 50 ml because I really wanted my filling to be a bit crispy. So I had to add vegetable oil. Added in a handful of chopped onions and spring onions, and I'm going to add in 450 grams of beef, blended garlic and ginger, and fresh pepper. It can be Filipino pepper, it can be atarudo. I just used one of it and blended it alongside with my garlic and ginger just to give it its own fragrance to the filling. Added in my spices, which are your usual curry, your thyme, whichever spice you have in your kitchen, just half teaspoon each. I'm going to cover now and allow my filling simmer for a bit because I want the liquid. It needs to reduce significantly. After which, go on now to add in your vegetables. I am using a little bit of shredded carrots, just a handful. I added more of spring onions, then I added my parsley and green bell peppers, and I added my seasoning cubes, that's chicken seasoning, and a little bit of salt to taste. The vegetables you add to your samosa filling are totally up to you. Just use whatever you like and whatever you have available. So after which, I'm just going to stir this and allow it to simmer for like 2 to 3 more minutes. We don't want our vegetables to be overcooked. We want to preserve the nutrients, and our delicious samosa filling is ready. Whew. Now we are going to go now to the main process. To make our slurry, we are using 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour and 2 tablespoons of water, normal temperature water. You are not using hot water or cold water, just normal room temperature water. You're going to mix this until flour is fully dissolved in the water, and here you go. I am using half tablespoon to fill in my samosa. So many persons find it difficult to fold in their samosa. This is one of the easiest method you can use. Fold in, place your fingers at the middle and fold in your samosas facing upwards. Form a triangular shape facing upwards. You can watch this part over and over again to get the hang of it, but this is very easy. Apply your slurry to any opened parts to make sure that they are sealed in properly. And when folding, make sure the holes at the bottom is closed. This is to prevent your filling from spilling into the oil while frying and give your samosa a more finished look. I'm also going to apply my slurry at the top of my samosa wrap or the top of my samosa pocket and bend it in from the top to make sure that I close it properly. I don't know, you can see it. So this way, making samosas has become so easy using this method. If you have been having it very difficult wrapping your samosa or forming an ideal samosa pocket, using this my samosa wrap recipe and even the method of wrapping is so easy to make. So here we go. We have over 40 pieces of samosas here. They are wrapped. I like how stable they are. They are not going to pop open in oil because of the consistency of the wrap. We are going on now to fry on medium heat. I love samosas because they do not take time to fry. You just add them into the oil and you stir continuously until you have a golden brown look on both sides. You can see the pocket did not open fully sealed. There are no holes on the side. These are perfect samosas if you should ask me. I don't know whether you like what you are seeing. Well, close to 50 pieces of samosa. We have over 40 pieces of samosa here. It's ready. It's crispy. It's not soggy. The filling is delicious. Oh, a bite of this. A bite of this, guys. Come on. Don't like this video. Comment. Tell me what you think about this recipe, and thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Do like, share and subscribe, and see you in my next one. Bye bye. Good to have you here. See you next.